Hi everyone, often on my channel I like to revisit older phones that have been released quite a while ago, just to see if they still hold up, how they are doing, and of course if they're still worth it, because at the end you do save quite a bit of money buying an older phone, so it makes a lot of sense in some cases. So today we are looking again back at the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra. It had some updates and I just want to tell you about it and my experience so far with the phone itself. It's been almost 2 years since the release of the Mi 11 Ultra, so it's worth talking about again. Either way, let's jump into the video and talk about the Mi 11 Ultra at the end of 2022. Yeah, I'm planning to make a lot of videos in December because if you know, you know. So the Mi 11 Ultra, let's begin with what software it is currently on. Currently it is on MIUI Global 13.0.9 with of course running Android 12 and the security update of September 2022. This update will make some changes, but not big ones. But mostly I noticed that sadly the 12S Ultra camera app doesn't work anymore, so those styles are gone. Apart from that, there really hasn't been any major update changes to the phone itself. Now, because this phone is a little bit older, let's quickly run over the main specifications. It comes with a Snapdragon 888 inside, either 12GB of RAM or 8, where mine has 12GB of it. The display is a curved AMOLED display with 120Hz and a peak brightness of 1700 nits, and of course HDR10 Plus support, with a max resolution of 1440p. In terms of battery, we have a 5000 mAh battery inside that you can charge up with the included 67W charger or wirelessly charge it at that same rate. And of course you do have reverse wireless charging, which is at 10 watts. The fingerprint scanner is sadly an optical one, which basically means it's a camera that is scanning your finger. So based on that alone, of course it isn't really a surprise that the Mi 11 Ultra still is really relevant today, even though it was introduced in March of 2021, which is almost 2 years ago. I know, time goes really fast. Currently, if you look at the phone online, it is pretty limited, because it was never a phone that was sold in bulk, like of course the Mi 11 was. This was basically somewhat their special version and somewhat limited. This means if you are going to buy it, it still costs you around 750 to 850 euros on eBay, so it's not cheap, but I do still think that this phone holds up very well. And it is a phone that I've been switching to in between testing different phones, and of course using the Vivo X80 Pro, which by the way, I cannot wait to test out the Vivo X90 Pro Plus like I really need it, and of course the newer Xiaomi 13 Ultra, I really want that as well. But overall, the updates I've received so far aren't major ones, and they are just some small bug fixes and of course the security update from September. I recorded this in the 1st of December, so it's a bit behind here, but my user experience, as stated, has been very similar. It runs smoothly through everything and it works really well. My software experience with MIUI, it's fine, I don't really have any issues with it. Don't necessarily like the look that much, but I think it works well. Really no issues here. Though I will have to say that it is really a shame that of course Xiaomi decided to use a 2D fingerprint scanner instead of the 3D ultrasonic 2nd generation that you will find on the Vivo X80 Pro, because that experience is miles ahead of what you get with a 2D fingerprint scanner. So let's talk about the one thing that I really care for when it comes to a phone. What is it? Well, of course it's the camera. I pay a lot of attention when it comes to the camera itself for a phone. That's one of the key features for me. And of course the 3.5mm headphone jack and micro SD, which this phone and many other phones sadly don't have. But you know, I have to deal with it. But either way, when it comes to the camera itself, that's something that I find really important, if not the top priority for me when it comes to a phone itself. The camera that you have with you is the best camera you have. So therefore, the Mi 11 Ultra, if I have it with me and I use it as my main device, it's the best camera. How has it held up so far? Well, no surprise, the Mi 11 Ultra still is one of my favorites when it comes to photography. Especially comparing it with some other phones like Samsung and so on. I think it does a really good job at capturing more natural scenes than some other devices out there. I think that the Vivo X80 Pro is better than the Mi 11 Ultra, but what I really like about the Mi 11 Ultra is the versatility of cameras. The periscope, for instance, is a weakness on the Vivo X80 Pro. Not a big weakness, but still a weakness compared to the Mi 11 Ultra, where the Mi 11 Ultra has a really strong periscope in there. Not to mention that the two main sensors next to it, of course the ultra wide and the main camera, are really strong as well when it comes to photography and just capturing beautiful stills. with that natural look that I'm looking for. The Mi 11 Ultra also has something else here. It of course has that secondary display right there that you can easily use to capture yourself with the main camera, making pictures and videos so much better in terms of quality. If you want to record yourself in 8K for some reason, don't know why, and see all the pores, well you can, because you can reuse that rear display right there to shoot yourself in 8K. It's not limited to anything, unlike the front camera that is limited to 1080p and 30 frames per second, so if you care for that one, it's a bit more difficult. But yeah, when it comes to the camera, the versatility and of course what it still manages to do with a really large sensor as well is incredible. I think that the Mi 11 Ultra still holds up, and I think because of sadly not being able to use the 12S camera app anymore, I don't think it competes directly with the Vivo X80 Pro as it did before, because I could, and it uses filters. I would say more styles, because I feel like that's more fitting for the Vivo X80 Pro and of course the Mi 11 Ultra with the 12S camera app. But when it comes to the styles itself, that sadly is gone after receiving the latest update. So if you want to keep that, make sure that you don't update your Mi 11 Ultra. But yeah, that's a real shame. Either way, let's talk about the camera experience and show some examples on how the Mi 11 Ultra has performed so far and what I really like about it. Including some shots with of course the 12S Ultra camera app, because I really like the shots that came from it, especially the black and white. Either way, let's jump into how the camera performs so far. So the Mi 11 Ultra, it's a phone that I've been using on a regular basis in 2022. I switch it between of course the Vivo X80 Pro and the Mi 11 Ultra. Both of those devices are still my favorite when it comes to using a phone. And I think Xiaomi has done an excellent job with the Mi 11 Ultra, and there was really not much to complain about. I still think that they need to work on the software experience a little bit. I don't think it's bad by any means, but I still think that they need to work on it. But when it comes to just the overall experience, I think that the Mi 11 Ultra still holds up really well. Build quality is really solid. Software updates might need some work. We're gonna wait and see how it holds up in terms of that when it comes to the Mi 11 Ultra. It's now running Android 12, not Android 13, which isn't very surprising, but we're gonna have to wait and see if it goes to Android 13, of course. Either way, if you ask me, the Mi 11 Ultra still holds up. It has a great camera experience, and of course the CPU is fast enough. You get enough memory inside, even though with Lav, of course, that expandable memory via the microSD. Audio is still great for calling and of course videos and so on. So overall, yes, if you are looking for a new phone and you have the budget for the Mi 11 Ultra, which is still quite a unique phone apparently, yeah, it's definitely still worth it. I use this with a lot of pleasure, especially if you love photography. Either way, hope you enjoyed this update video on the Mi 11 Ultra, and of course let me know what you think about it and if this is a phone that you would consider if you are using an older phone or if you are planning to buy a newer one. Because simply put, you do save money buying an older phone. And this one, yeah, it still holds up really well. Anyway, have a good one and talk to you guys in the next.